the topic right now is credit bureaus. You got to understand what credit bureaus are and why they're important. So I'm going to start off and just get into why they're important, and then I'll tell you what they are, and I'll break down the different categories that determine the information that they compile, and we'll just go from there. So the reason why it's important to understand what credit bureaus you're dealing with in terms of whatever product that you're looking for is because this may determine whether or not you get it or you don't get it. So if you don't know what credit bureau these creditors are reporting to, that can mess you up in the future. So what do I mean by that? Basically, what I'm saying is a credit bureau is a company that compiles information about you as a creditee, right? So somebody who is looking for credit, they compile all the information. So every time you fill out an application for a credit card, a mortgage, anytime your credit is being ran, right? All of those hard inquiries, they obtain that information. Any credit lines that you have open, right? So that secure credit card I was telling you to go get, right? They got your payment history on there. So they're able to report whether or not you're good at making payments, you got late payments, whether you just ain't paying at all, right? This is what a credit bureau does. They look at all of your credit that is given to you, and they report how you're using it. How you're using it. Are you using it good? Are you using it bad? Are you in the middle? Like, were you bad and now you doing good, right? That's why I told you to get the secure credit card, right? They reporting all of this. This is all documented. So why is this important? This is important because before somebody extends you credit, outside of like a personal loan for me, like if you call a cousin like, yo, I need 1,000. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need 1,100 back. I'm not calling a credit bureau for you, right? But let's say American Express, right? Yeah, you try to get some credit from American Express, they're calling a credit bureau. They want to know what's up with you. They don't know you. They don't have a personal relationship with you like I do, right? Family, friends, right? They don't have that family friend relationship. So they're calling to find out information about you, right? So based on what's on your credit report is going to determine whether or not they give you the product that you're looking for. So there are 3 credit bureaus. Now, this is important. There's Equifax, there's Experian, and there's TransUnion. Now, some creditors, they report to all 3. And this is why I said it's important to know where these people are reporting to. Because let's say, for instance, let's say you get 5 products from TransUnion that report to TransUnion. So theoretically, if you go apply for something from Equifax or Experian, right, any of these 2, they're not going to have none of this information. None of this information. So whatever you owe on here, however many cards you got, they're not going to have this information because they're a totally separate entity, right? They're a totally separate credit bureau. They got their whole own office. They got their own employees, and they don't communicate with each other, right? But some credit card companies report to all 3. Now, this is bad because now let's do the math. You got 3. Off these 3 credit bureaus, you could get 5 inquiries off of each, right? Every 2 years, if you got 5, you good. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you space them out. If you got 6 months in between, you good. You're going to be able to pretty much qualify for whatever products you're getting. Once you get over 5, you know, they start looking at you like, yo, you broke and you need money because you calling everybody for money, right? So that's just how they look at the situation. So if you got 3 credit bureaus and you could get 5 inquiries off each credit bureau, theoretically, you can get 15 credit products, right? You could get 15 because these 5 don't report to these 5, and these 5 don't report to these 5. But what happens is sometimes you will get a product that reports to all 3. So now if you get a product that reports to all 3, you just went from your odds of getting 15 products to now only getting 12 products, right? Because they snipped you. Boom, boom, boom. Now you only got 4 inquiries on each left, right? So that's what you want to pay attention to. That is important in terms of actually strategically building your credit up. Now, this is things that I didn't know about. I didn't know about this. I told you I was getting my credit based off of offers that I was getting. I didn't know anything about what bureau they was reporting to. I know now. And I strategically say, hey, what bureau do you report to? I'll give you a prime example because I'm going to do a video on this next in terms of adding it to my journey because I just applied for a Navy Federal business credit card. Now, in order to get the business credit card, you have to personal guarantee it. That means they're going to run a hard inquiry on your personal credit, which I was just talking about. Now, the company that they go off of is Experian. Okay. So they use Experian. They want to see what my Experian credit score is to determine if my business is credit worthy. Why? Because if my business, can't produce or can't pay this credit card back, then as a person, I have to take on that debt. That's why it's called a personal guarantee. And I explain that, in another video as well. But the reality of the situation is I knew that I only had 3 inquiries on my Experian. So now when they look, I got room for 2 more. I got room for 2 more. So now I'm going to be able to get this product. Now, however, let's say if they utilize Experian and TransUnion, I probably would have pumped the brakes and said, I don't need this product. I could get a different product that only reports to Experian or only reports to TransUnion. And then I could find another product that only reports to the other one. That way I could get 2 products instead of 1. So you say, well, why do you want 2 credit cards, cousin, instead of 1? Don't you want 2 houses instead of 1, right? Right? Like, this is what it's for. We're building credit. Mind you, we're using this credit responsibly. So because we're using this credit responsibly, we don't care how many credit cards we get. We want 100. We want to be able to liquidate all of these cards, right? And start a business. We want to be able to open up a pizza shop or a barber shop. We could credit swipe the chairs, swipe the equipment, swipe the hair, swipe everything that we need, right? Swipe, swipe, swipe. Then we bring in money and we pay it back, and what's left over is ours. That's what we do. But the credit bureaus are important to know about. So once again, that's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Before you get any product, even a secure credit card, I don't believe that secure credit cards run your credit because you're giving them collateral, but make sure, ask. It's a question. Call up, say, hey, I'm looking, for X, Y, and Z product, or maybe you go in. You say, hey, always ask before you get any product, any car loan, any mortgage, any student loan, any credit card, whatever it is you get, personal loan, HELOC, whatever credit product you get, financial product, ask what credit bureau do they pull from. And the reason you need to know is because you need to make sure that they're not pulling from multiple bureaus. And if they are, because you may really need the product, like this may not matter. You may really need a mortgage, right? So if they got to check all 3 of your backgrounds and give you a point on all of them, it's not really that big of a deal because you're about to put yourself into a house, which is a major move, right? You would have your credit be ran on all 3 bureaus to make that happen. So that's not really that big of a deal, right? But just for a $5,000 credit card, we don't want to use all 3 credit bureaus for that, especially when there are credit bureaus and credit card companies that only deal with one. They deal with one and another. That's it. So we want to deal with each of those on an individual level so we can max out on that end. And that's pretty much the situation. That's why you need to know what credit bureaus are reporting so you can know your odds, right? You don't want to be maxed out. I know like right now with TransUnion, I got 5 inquiries. I don't want to apply for any credit, right? Until, let me see, TransUnion. I got 2 falling off this month, and I got another one falling off next month. So until next month, I don't want to apply for nothing because I already got 5 inquiries. I don't want to get 6 and they start looking at me like, you broke? They know I'm not broke, but they gonna look at me. They're gonna be like this. They're gonna be like, yo, you broke? Come on, we don't want that. So I know and understand that when I call and I'm looking for a product, I need to make sure TransUnion. Okay, you don't pull from TransUnion? I'm good then. If you don't pull from TransUnion, I'm good then. Let's run it. Let's get it. I need that credit product so I can start to add on, right? Look at your credit like it's a portfolio. You got a credit portfolio, right? If you had a house, a real estate portfolio and you was adding more products, more properties, that's the same thing. I look at your credit. We're building it up because eventually we're going to take all of our credit and we're going to turn it into money. And we're going to pay them back their money and we're going to take what's off the top. Peace.